Right, okay folks, we are going to do another week at looking at converting measurements. Now, I think we've kind of had a bit of mixed success with this last week, so let's see if we can get on top of it a bit this week. So, there are 4 different worksheets that I've uploaded for you to try this week. You're not going to do every single bit of the worksheets. There's a few sections that I'm going to tell you not to do. Okay, basically anywhere where it says to ask your teacher for something. Then that's a worksheet that we don't need you to do, or any of the kind of more practical ones, that's kind of a bit optional for you. So I'm going to concentrate on the questions that I do definitely want you to do. Okay, so on the first worksheet we're looking at meters and centimetres, so I'm going to do some of the questions from section B. Remember that 1 metre is 100 centimetres. Okay, so that's going to help us with these questions. So in section B, we are being asked to change 1 metre 32 centimetres into just centimetres. Now the 1 metre is 100 centimetres, plus we've got the 32 centimetres there, so the answer is going to be 132 centimetres. If we look at question 11 asks us to change 4 metres 38 centimetres into centimetres. The 4 metres is going to be 4 lots of 100, so 4 times 100, which is 400. Plus we've got the 38, so that's going to be 438 centimetres. Question 26 is again similar. It's asking us for 3 metres 4 centimetres. Now 3 metres is going to be 3 lots of 100, which is 300 centimetres. And then we need to add on that 4 centimetres as well. So 304 centimetres. So you should manage, hopefully, the rest of section B, turning those metres and centimetres into just centimetres. Section C then is similar, but it's asking you to turn it into metres and centimetres. So we're going the other way. So the hundreds number will be what becomes your metres. So here we've got 100, so that'll become 1 metre. And then the bit that's left will be the 41, so it's 1 metre 41 centimetres. With the next one, the hundreds number, here that's the 3, that'll give us 3 metres, and then the bit that's left, the 27, that will give us 27 centimetres. Okay, and in the next example, hundreds number, so this is question 26, is a 1, so that's 1 metre. And then we've got just 5 centimetres, and you can write that as 0.5, or you can just write it as 5. So that would be section D. C, sorry. Now, section D. How many more centimetres are needed to make the following into 1 metre? So we're having to change these centimetres and work out how many more we would need to make a metre. Now, remember what we said, a metre is 100 centimetres. So if I've got 100 centimetres that I'm trying to make it up to, and I've already got 90 centimetres, then we're going to do a takeaway sum to work out how much more we would need. And that one's quite easy. You can do that one in your head probably. We would need 10 centimetres more. For the next one, we want to make it up to a metre, which is 100 centimetres. At the moment, we've got 75 centimetres. So if we do 100 take away 75, if you're doing a sum, then we've got 10 take away 5 is 5, and 9 take away 7 is 2. So we would need 25 centimetres to make it up to a metre. Question 26, the last one I'm going to do with you. Same idea, folks. 100 centimetres. Take off the 23 to work out how much more we would need. Okay, we're going to have to borrow again. And we're going to get 77 centimetres. So that should let you do all of the first worksheet. You might want to stop the video here and go off and try that before you watch the next wee bit, and just do it a step at a time. Worksheet number 2 is all about metres and kilometres. Okay, so this time what we need to remember, we looked at this last week, is 1,000 metres is 1 kilometre. Okay, section A, we're turning the following measurements into metres. So again, I've picked 3. Okay, and to turn these into metres, in section A, we're going to be timesing by 1,000, and you can use a calculator for that, or you can try and do it without a calculator. Okay, so we're multiplying by 1,000. As I said, you can use a calculator. 2 kilometres, 2 times 1,000. That's going to give me 2,000 metres. Okay, so we can write down that we're doing 2 times 1,000 just to remind ourselves. And that's going to give us 2,000 metres. 1.5 kilometres. Now 1.5 is the same as 1.5, remember? Multiplying that by 1,000 gives us 1,500 metres. And then question 26, 1.3 times 1,000. So that's going to give us 1,300 metres. And make sure you put those units on the end of every question, because that's kind of what we're really focusing on. Same idea for these next ones, but this time we're turning measurements into kilometres. So from question 31 onwards, we're going the opposite way, guys. So instead of multiplying by 1,000, we're going to be dividing by 1,000 if we're going from metres to kilometres. Okay, so 5,000 metres is question 36. We're going to do 5,000 divided by 1,000, which is just 5. 250 metres. Now, it's not even a kilometre, is it? So when we divide it by 1,000, we're going to get a 0 point number. We're going to get 0.25 kilometres. So 250 metres would be 0.25 kilometres. Then our last example, 2,600 metres. Divide that by 1,000. We're going to get 2.6 kilometres. So that would let you do section A on the second worksheet, kilometres and metres. Okay, you can have a wee think about section B and C if you want, but I'm going to go over section D with you next. And that's where we're turning metres, and we're working out how many more metres we would need to turn these into kilometres. It's a little bit like the work we did before, guys. Remembering that 1,000 metres is a kilometre. So if we're wanting to make each of these up to a kilometre, we need to work out the difference between 1,000 metres and what we've got. So in each case, we're going to be taking it away from 1,000. Okay, so that's what we're going to do every single time in section D. And some of these you'll be able to do probably in your head, and some you might need to do a sum or use your calculator. Okay, so for the first one, how do we make 900 metres up to a kilometre? We need another 100 metres. That would make it up to 1,000. For the next one, how do we make 750 metres up to a kilometre? We would need another 250 metres. Okay, if you're using the sum, you'll need to borrow, and you're going to have that. The same with this last one. 0 take away 0 is 0. 0 take away 3 we can't do. 10 take away 3 is 7. 9 take away 2 is 7. So to make 230 metres up to a kilometre, we need 770 metres. Okay, and then the final two worksheets. So worksheet 3 is a couple of pages. That's kind of doing the same thing, guys, but we're looking at litres and millilitres. And then the fourth worksheet is looking at weight. So we're looking at kilometres, not kilometres, kilograms and grams, okay? On those ones, you've got some reading of scales in the section A's. Now, it's up to you whether or not you want to have a go at that. I've not done a video for that yet, so maybe focus on the sections that I'm going over first of all, and then you can try those later if you've still got time, okay? They can be your extension work. But looking at worksheet 3, so page 3 and 4, we're going to just look at page 4, which is the changing the litres into millilitres and back again. Now, it's just the exact same as we've just done with kilometres and metres, guys. Okay, because 1,000 millilitres is 1 litre. So in the first examples, we're going to be timesing by 1,000, and in the second ones, we're going to be dividing by 1,000. So 2 litres into millilitres, we need to do 2 times 1,000, which is 2,000 millilitres. For 11, half of a litre is going to be half of 1,000 millilitres. Okay, a half of 1,000 or 0.5 times 1,000 is going to give us 500 millilitres. And then 1.3 litres, 1.3 times 1,000, which is 1,300 millilitres. So all of those questions you're going to be timesing by 1,000. Once we get to question 31 onwards, you're going to be dividing by 1,000 because we're going the other way. We're going from millilitres to litres. Okay, so 5,000 millilitres, 5,000 divided by 1,000 is 5 litres. Okay, 250 millilitres, 250 divided by 1,000. Now again, we can see it's not going to be a whole number. That one's going to be 0.25 litres. And then example 56, 2,400 divided by 1,000 is going to give us 2.4 litres. Okay. And then section C, same again. What would you need to make these up to a litre? Up to a litre means we're working out how much more would we need to get it to 1,000. So we're going to have to do the takeaway sums. So 1,000 take away 900 is 100. 1,000 take away 50 is 950 millilitres. And if you've got 978, millilitres, when we take that away, you can use your calculator, remember today, guys, or you can do the takeaway sum. Okay. We would get 2, we would get 22 millilitres just. Then, as I've said, worksheet 4, which is pages 5 and 6, similar idea. Okay, we are looking at section B here. Section A is the reading the scales. So section B is what we're going to look at. Grams and kilograms. Okay, 1,000 grams is a kilogram. So you're going to be doing an awful lot of work this week on multiplying and dividing by 1,000. So 3 kilograms, 3 times 1,000 is going to be 3,000 grams. Okay, half a kilogram, 0.5 times 1,000 is 500 grams, and 1.4 kilograms, 1.4 times 1,000, 1,400 grams. Okay, and then from question 31 onwards, we're obviously going the other way. We're dividing, so we're doing 4,000 divided by 1,000. So 4,000 grams is 4 kilograms. Make sure you get all your zeros on there. 250 divided by 1,000, which is 0.25 kilograms. And 2,300 divided by 1,000, which is 2.3 kilograms. And then the last little bit that I'm going to go over with you, similar idea, working out what's missing. And these numbers are actually the exact same as the ones from before. So we should get the same numerical answers. The only difference is going to be the units. Okay, because this time we're working with grams and kilograms rather than litres and millilitres. Okay, so you'll see some similarities in some of the numbers. Okay, but that is what gives us these answers. So hopefully that helps, but if not, remember, get in touch with us, come on the classes and ask for help. Okay, plenty of opportunity to get help.